What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of the Day Trading Show. Today, James and I go over our trades for the last week. We talk about the Ukraine invasion that's going on right now and how we're navigating these very uncertain times. So sit back and enjoy. Like, what did you trade over the last couple of days? Where's your head at? Because I know you're down this week, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm down just under 2%. So I had was Tuesday. I had a win on GU, but I took it really small because that there was. I remember there was a B setup, the 800 EMA, which we use in our trading system. EMAs we use the 800, the 200, the 50, and the 8 and the 21 exponential moving average. The 800 was literally right there on entry. It was one of our beginner entries that you teach, the A1 entry that you teach in the beginner course, with two candle formation of the 21 EMA. It went about 1.5R, but it went 1.5R extremely quickly. I actually managed to fast. I actually just managed to get out at about just under 1 hour because it literally went like this and then pulled back literally within 2 minutes.
That's crazy.
So I got a small win on that. About 0.3%, and then I took a loss on GU, which put me down 1.93% on the week. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna end the week that way, but I think it's one of my first negative weeks in quite a while, which I'm pretty, you got to take the winners with the losers. You can't be, not every trader, only maybe the ones on social media are profitable every single week, or every single day. But yeah, I've been consistent. I think I've also had, before the loss yesterday, I think I had about 12 green days in a row. So that the days that I did trade. So I think, it's bound to come, and you take the wins with the losses. And as long as you manage risk, you're good, especially in times of uncertainty with this Russia and Ukraine kind of conflict going on.
Yeah. I love that you're able to go over each trade in your mind because you're not trading. Like, one of the issues we see a lot of traders struggle with is over trading. So in last week, the reason why you're down, even though you won one trade and lost one trade, is because you hit that second trade with more size, right?
Yep. I graded it as an A setup, and looking back on it, maybe I could have sized down it because it was probably a B setup. So that will definitely be in my weekly reflection. But yeah, as when you the reason why I can remember every single trade in my head is because I review every single trade and journal every single trade. So I remember them. Okay, shit, that's what I took last week. I remember last week I had ECAD on Tuesday and EA on Wednesday. So That was 2 from 2 last week. So I can remember the trades I take because I'm journaling them. I'm doing a weekly review. I'm sharing them with our members on the Discord chats and our Black Show Club guys. So yeah, I think it's you have to review your trades and see where you can be better.
I feel like a lot of new traders overlook the journaling process, though. Like, when I got into trading, I never wanted to journal. I wanted to maybe journal some of the trades, but definitely not all of the trades. And that held me back. When you look back on it, the lack of reflection gets in the way of your growth. You know what I mean? With markets, how they've been this last month, we know a lot of guys are struggling. I've had more people in the last month hit me up in February telling me that they either blew their funded challenge or failed the challenge or whatever it was, because markets have been very choppy. But at the same time, like you showed, there was a guy who's getting over $100,000 payout from one of the funding companies. And I think in times like this, it's really important to understand how to survive. And that's another underrated topic that goes, I think, along with journaling, because in the journaling, you're able to reflect on those trades. And in that, I think it is subconsciously programming you to just survive. Like, a lot of guys would have taken the 2 trades that you took and been down 2% and probably taken a third trade, bro, and probably tried to go make that money back right away. Whereas you're able to pull yourself out and say, hey, you can do this either tomorrow or the next week, whatever it is.
100%. I think just staying composed. When Anthony Cradell tweeted about 2 hours ago, he said that as long as when markets speed up, make sure that you slow your process down and you make clear and concise and calm decisions. I think that's very important. Because you can be eager to get involved in the markets when things are just tanking. Like, I think GJ was down 1.5% today, which is a big move for a forex pair. Yep. So I think gold was up 3% at one point today as well. So, markets are definitely moving. But I think, if the signal is not there, you can't just get in a trade. I mean, as I said, you could probably make money shorting every Forex pair today, but that's not really cool. You can make money on a day, but will you make money over the long term? Probably not. But I think one of the, just to go hop on what you said, I think one of the important things is like, know when the markets are hot and not choppy and you can make money, but during times of choppiness and uncertainty, capital preservation is a big one as well, because then during the good times, again, you're not trying to come back from a drawdown, you're making money.
Yep, 100%. I had a couple of trades this past week as well. I started the week out a little rough on Monday, taking trades on a bank holiday that I shouldn't have been involved in. It was interesting. I think it was just the wanting to trade came out of me a little bit strong, and I ended up putting some size into these new ideas that I've been testing. This new strategy we've been working on, yep. And I am really enjoying the results of it. And there are a lot of profitable setups. I happen to take 2 losers, but that's, I think, where I could have done a little bit better this week, was especially to start the week, knowing it was a bank holiday, knowing that I was trading Forex pairs, not even on something that's got a lot of back testing into it yet. That was, I think, a little bit too aggressive for me, especially considering how picky I've been over the last couple of weeks. So now I, at the same time, came back later that day, and remember, I hit the D2 entry on Bitcoin off ADR, and it bounced from ADR back up to the top, to the high of day, which was pretty interesting to see such a volatile move.
Yeah, that was a good trade. A good trade.
Yeah, and I think it like reinforces the idea of like staying on edge, staying within the system is where the money should be, not on these new ideas yet. Yet is the key word. And then with the uncertainty coming in later this week, I've been very bearish because of the potential war. And then with the technicals lining up, how Bitcoin had the 8 and 21 cross on the daily, crossed back down. A lot of things shifted to make markets in general look like they were going to move lower on a technical side. Now you got the fundamental catalyst of this invasion, which is pretty serious. And now that's why you're seeing Bitcoin's down 6% the day that we're filming this. Everything is down except oil. Oil's up 7% and gold's up.
And
commodities are up. And that's what we might see a lot more of. I've seen a lot of people predicting Bitcoin goes lower. Did you know companies like Michael Saylor, he has this company MicroStrategy, and they have a lot of their US dollars converted into Bitcoin. So there's a price point that he has to liquidate a big chunk of his position. If Bitcoin, I heard it was like 28K. I was listening to this Twitter space last night. Have you ever turned on a Twitter space?
I have not.
So it's like you go on Twitter and they're like, it's like Clubhouse, but on Twitter. Remember Clubhouse?
Okay. Yeah, I know Clubhouse.
So there was like 30,000 people in there last night, and they were talking about this, and they were saying how if Bitcoin continues to get to that price point of liquidation, it'll vacuum, it'll suck from 30K to 20K very quickly, because you'll have a lot of that mass liquidation, which would be super crazy. But long term, is there still potential for crypto? For sure. But I think I'm reading Ray Dalio's book, which is called the Turning World Order, the Changing World Order. It's right here. This book talks. Oh, my mic, dude. I apologize for everybody who's listening. My microphone is now back to the good microphone, right? It's crazy. My Zoom just decides to switch whenever it wants to. Right? Yeah. Did it go back to the other microphone a few minutes ago?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's back to the good one. I apologize. I don't know why, everybody. If anybody knows why, tell me in the comments. Do I need a new microphone? I just bought a new cord. I don't know. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing up the book is like this book talks about how at the end of every major world power, it always ends in conflict. It's always the way it's ended. Is this the conflict that turns into World War III and creates a new global power? I don't know. None of us know for sure. But what's interesting is like being able to trade these volatile markets during these periods of uncertainty. Like if you look, there's been really nice A1 entries. This new entry that we've been working on, both of those have been showing up on oil. If you're like, I've been watching oil, which is a newer thing for me, and crypto especially. Like last night, I had a Bitcoin short on and it just sucked, bro. I still have a piece of it in with my stop locked way high. Like I have shorts in. I closed my chart software right now, but I have a nice short in, and that's why I'm up this week, because what I was getting to is I took those 2 losses. Then I took a loss. Yeah, I didn't trade on Tuesday because I had the wedding. Then I traded Wednesday with Steve, and we traded in A1 formation pre-market. And yeah, this was yesterday. And that 3 candle, and the next bar was not in our favor. Closed half of it. Next bar stopped me out. Just took the loss and ended up flipping my bias because that was right when stocks opened. And then I was able to find a short on Bitcoin. I could have had another short on US 30 as well. And I stayed out of that because that was that new idea. But that new idea is so interesting, bro. Yeah, because it keeps presenting so many potential
things. It presents, I would say it presents at least on a couple of pairs, at least once a day on almost every single.
You know, we need a whole episode. Maybe our next episode will just be about this new strategies. But like, I think what's interesting to me about this new strategy, like GJ's down 1.4% and Bitcoin's down 4% now. But what's interesting about these is you could, with this new idea that I've been working on, that we're all trying to prove if it's profitable or not, you could wake up at any time of day and trade this. There is no real time of day restriction. I think you'll find slowing at the end of New York and in the Asian session naturally. But I know for a fact, if you wake up by 8 a.m. my time, East Coast time, or you wake up at a normal time for you, you will find at least 1 or 2 trades every day. That's what I'm seeing. Multiple trades every day with this new signal.
We've been seeing it. And I think there is potential.
And it's cool because sometimes you'll get these volatile moves. Like if you look at Bitcoin, it really didn't give a great A1 or D1 entry. You have to have another way to make money on some of these more volatile moves, almost like a position trade. And that's why this entry that we're working on puts you in a position where, like, the inception for the whole idea is, if I'm short bias, what's the best way to get in? What's the best price to be in short? The highest price. That's the answer. So with these
A1, with our system, as close to the 50 or 21 as possible.
Well, with our entries right now, the A1, the D1, and the D2, you're entering off that EMA most of the time, not at the EMA. And this new strategy is more at the EMA, which is, I think,
which gets you good risk reward and in at the highest price, as you say. Sometimes at least when we're trading FX, at least 15 to 20 pips earlier than our A1 entry.
Easy. You're going to like some of the risk reward setups. You'll get 2R on an A1, but if you were in 35 minutes before, 40 minutes before,
4R.
4R. Exactly. Yeah. So it's super interesting. And then with the volatility of the uncertainty, it's not going to stop, bro. I don't think any of this is going to stop anytime soon. So that's why it's super important for you and everybody else that's listening to be broadening your horizons. Like I've been watching you push yourself into Bitcoin like I have been. And I think it's been super powerful for me. It's something like, look at even what I said about Monday's trading. It's something where if I was paying more attention or just more focused, whatever it is, I wouldn't have been trading Forex pairs on a USD bank holiday because we know that they can be slow. I would have only traded Bitcoin because why would Bitcoin care about a USD holiday? You know what I'm saying? So Bitcoin would have been the nice winning trade on Monday. You know what I mean? So I feel like volatility caused by uncertainty is gas to what we are trying to do, but it's about finding the right market, aligning yourself with the right market for this uncertainty. Like right now, it would have been a great idea to buy oil last night when you know this war is potentially going on, you know,
the invasion.
Did you see Russia's stock index is down like 35-40% today?
Wasn't it 60% at the ultimate low?
At one point, Is that crazy?
That's insane. That's like almost half of their stock market just wiped off. Like more than half.
It makes you wonder, like, why did they think that wasn't going to happen? Or did they know and did they not care? Like, how did that happen? You know what I mean?
Putin, I think, in my opinion, Putin doesn't like care. He just wants to complete domination. And he sees like Ukraine and he's like he sees them down. He's like, I'm going to kick you. I'm going to carry on kicking you. He doesn't care about the economic ramifications of that. He just wants to, take what he believes is his. Right. I think it's quite hectic as well. That's why, just for the theme of the video, I got my camo on.
Bro, I think that he probably feels threatened, which creates more conflict.
It could be ego.
Well, that's what it always is. But like, think about how decisions of such a few group of people impact so many people.
Everyone.
The whole world.
Imagine.
That's
like
crazy
so
in
many
itself.
That are trading these markets that he's impacting all of us.
Right.
These markets are also reminding me of, remember 2020 March of COVID, when everything was like Forex pairs were moving like 350 pips on an average day, like GN, GA, EA, those pairs, GJ, some of the pairs were easily ADR average daily range. So we use that indicator with our system within ASFX. They were moving 250 pips on an average day. I mean, that's insane,
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's something that's probably going to be what we continue to see. There's so many other approaches to it. Like, imagine if we had different leaders in place Could the invasion have been stopped before it even started? When we saw them building up troops on the border, could we have stopped the invasion before it even began?
Well,
Talk to Putin and
well,
convinced him to not do it, you know?
well, it's just my opinion, but I don't want to get too political, but stuff that it's my opinion. This is our show. We can say what we want,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, Trump, nothing happened under Trump in his 4 years as the 45th president of the United States of America. Nothing happened on him. That guy, love him or hate him, he knows how to call orders. He knows, and people fear him because he might be considered a madman, but the thing is, he gets shit done. And no, Putin didn't. No, everyone was scared during his thing to do anything because he knows Trump will just say, "Hey, U.S.
Right.
Army, take them out."
Right. Yeah. And in a way, you're not wrong, bro. And I think somebody shared a clip I saw of what Trump said to this meeting of the European countries when he was president. And he said, like, you guys want money from the United States for aid, but then you want to go do a deal with Russia so that you get like Germany gets over 50% of their natural gas from Russia. So how is Germany going to want protection from America when you're doing business with our enemy? That's a conflicting.
You can't sleep with the enemy. You can't
No,
sleep
and
with
the European countries are all about that, bro. And it's interesting to think just like how fragile it all is. Like with enough escalation, this will impact you and me, which is crazy, and a lot of people listening, which is crazy to think about, bro. And then beyond that, if nothing serious happens to Russia, like they're gonna have a call this morning about Biden's gonna have a virtual call with the other G7 countries and talk, if nothing serious comes of this beyond sanctions and Russia continues to push, I think already you've given China the green light to go into Taiwan if they want to. Yeah. Because like Trump, maybe would have handled it different. I still think Trump would have tried to make a deal with Russia before the invasion even happened. He would have, because now you get Putin under pressure because he feels like NATO is building up forces near his border. So he's like, okay, if you're going to build up forces, I got to do something. I can't just let you build up forces. Like I'm going to show my force because Putin hates NATO and he wants the whole Ukraine anyway. And I mean,
he doesn't want Ukraine. Ukraine wants to join NATO. That's like the kind of hold back.
That's the whole thing. They wanted to be some Ukrainians wanted to be in NATO. There's some parts of Ukraine that still speak Russian. They want to be Russian. You know what I mean? Like for real. So it's super complicated. It's just really sad for all the people that don't give a fuck. And they're just like, I just want to go on with my life, bro. Like, why am I now I got to leave, get my family in the car and drive out of here, go live in the fucking woods? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. What the hell? Like, what do you do as like an average person who's like maybe got a job at like a bank or like a job at
That's what I'm saying.
You own a small business and the thing. Do you just?
Bro, they stopped all the flights. You can't even fly out. Like, there's no planes going in and out.
I saw a thing on Twitter, like the airspace around Ukraine is like a circle
empty.
Because everyone's evading, like everyone's avoiding.
Last night, bro, I was watching this Twitter thread of like them showing the airplanes that like went into Ukraine airspace and then turned around right away. As soon as the missile started going last night and Putin put the video up, everybody was like, get out of there, bro. It's crazy.
You need to get on this Twitter. What's a Twitter sphere? What's it?
Twitter Spaces. Yeah.
I'm gonna show me how to do it because I'm interested.
It pops up right at the homepage. It's at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people you follow are in a space, I think it comes up. There was like 30,000 people in this thing last night. It was crazy. Bro.
Wow. And it's like a channel, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. It's like you click it and you hear people talking, and that's it.
And you talk as well.
You can request to talk. yes.
Got you. So only like the people, only maybe like the top people or who are controlling the conversation can talk. Basically.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's been my week so far. I had the loser yesterday with Steve, the winner that I'm still in on Bitcoin. So I'm up this week I shifted from the 200K account to the 100K account. So I'm going to probably just do, like we were talking about, the free retry on that, take another attempt at it in March and see if we can get that combined 100K and 200K together. But either way, I'm still pretty happy that I'm up on the 100K account because I'm up. Basically, I posted a video of me doing the 100K month 2, and I was only up like $800, which is like 0.8%. But then that was because I was focused on the 200K account for the last 3-4 weeks, almost 4 weeks now. So now I'm already up like $800, $700 on this 100K account this month. So I should be able to put up bigger numbers on the 100K
Yep.
account by tomorrow
Yep.
and then next week. You know what I mean? I should be able to put up bigger
Got a bit
numbers.
of time, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
are you because obviously you don't have a trade copy, you're not trading your own
No.
personal capital at the same time as well. You're just
No.
focusing on building, because I mean it's so cool that you obviously don't, not to digress the topic,
Yeah.
but
No, it's
you know, you're building up money with the prop firms. You don't have to trade your own capital and put your own capital at risk during these times of uncertainty.
and I want to trade Bitcoin and I want to trade oil and I want to do all these things.
You can't
and
do that on your personal.
No, like this is one-stop shop. Like I'm getting it all done with one broker. I'm logged in. It's got my risk calculator. It's super easy.
You can trade FX, you can
everything.
trade Bitcoin, you can trade indices.
Yeah. But one other point I would definitely say, like yesterday, I ended up wanting to be involved in a lot of trade ideas. And I caught myself feeling like that anxious of the anxiety of like, I want to be in the game, but I know I shouldn't be in the game. And I was talking to Steve, who's in the Black Shirt Club, about it. And we were both saying that gut feeling that you get it once and your brain tries to ignore it. The best thing to do is walk off the desk, you know? Yeah. And I feel like a lot of guys listening, maybe at this far into the video today, you know, we've been a little all over, but that's okay. Talking about the Ukraine and talking about our trading week, because that's really what it's been going on. But I think a lot of guys, like in a choppier month like this, they struggle because of reasons like that. And I think back to our original point, the journaling and the documentation, especially during months like this, matters, because look at what you're doing. You put up really great numbers last week. You're still putting up good numbers this week, even though you're down. The reason they're still good is because every entry you're taking is within the edge that you're exploiting. So you're in line with putting yourself, bro, there's going to be periods where you take 3 losses in a row, 4 losses in a row, but then you're going to have, like you said, 12 winners in a row as well. So when the market's hot, you just got to know how to hit. I have a feeling March is going to be a big month, bro. I'm setting up a lot of stuff with ASFX. I have a feeling the markets are going to be hot. So I think March is going to be a big month for everybody.
Yeah. I think going forward, you know, this could create some good volume within the FX market. I think even for the rest of the year, even.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, we're anticipating a new survey from the Bank for International Settlements this year, which shows Forex volume and changes from the last 3 years.
I remember that
it's every 3 years.
I remember that. Yeah. So they do it every 3 years. I remember you did it in 2020, and it shows you where most pairs are traded, where's the most volume. I think it was obviously the dollar has dominated that the last couple of times.
So it'll be interesting to see, bro. China's going to be on the up and up. You'll see they're going to be one of the biggest up and comers. A lot of people.
The only thing that's weird, because you know they obviously will be on the up and up, but we don't obviously trade Chinese pairs. Like we're not trading USD to what's the Chinese yuan or some yuan,
you can trade the yuan. There's brokers that offer it.
I mean, but the spreads are pretty mad.
It could be. It just depends on the broker. Like even today, the prop firm that we work with shut off the US dollar to the Russian ruble because it was super volatile. Yeah, they shut it off. Go look at it.
I didn't notice that. Obviously, I don't trade it. So.
Yeah, I don't. But like, there's just so much to do, you know. With
when there's nothing. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Remember, it's like times when oil went to negative, like $35 a barrel, stuff like that. It's like this is kind of like they shut off trading. That's pretty hectic.
Yeah, because they don't want it to get super volatile and have people just ripping it.
Well, that's when people just flip and stuff their accounts up.
On both sides, you got people that'll get lucky and pass it, and you got people that'll blow it for sure.
But I think for them, it doesn't. Obviously for them, if people you know are real, which I believe are trading real capital with them under their private investors, they don't want people stuffing up, like having massive losses on volatile pairs. So they'll just be like, "Cheers, we're not allowing you to trade it."
Let me run another idea by you, since we're a little all over the place in today's episode. I think that's fitting with the way our Discord is going and like me wanting to make it more comprehensive. I was thinking about restructuring it a little bit, because you know what our Discord looks like for people that take the course, and then restructuring it in a way where we could open it up to the public, like to people that listen to this and watch my videos and talk to you. We could have a public Discord where people that are interested in ASFX and what we talk about could come to. And within that same server, we have our VIP members and our Black Shirt Club and our backtesting course members. Like it's all in one place. What do you think about that?
That's pretty interesting. So they won't be able to obviously chat on the like
we can
ASFX.
We'll have like
but they won't be able to chat on, like, for the people that have taken the course. Those people will have that, but then there will be like a public server as well. Exactly. I remember you used to have that public Telegram. I remember I was in that before joining you as well.
Exactly. Something like that, where I could have everybody just coming in and I could be communicating with them. You could be just more direct than Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're listening and that would be something that you'd be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm not in the course and I want to be in the Discord with them, drop a comment on YouTube and let us know if you're watching on YouTube, or
Yeah.
DM me and just say, hey, Austin, I'd love it if the Discord was open to
Yeah.
the public.
We'll
If we
share
get a
our
lot of feedback
charts.
from it, then I'll definitely have to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just something I've been considering because I want to upgrade our Discord and like make it worth more to people. You know what I mean? Like my markups, your markups for people to study, that's valuable. We could be doing live calls in there once a week. That's valuable. There's a lot of ideas that I have that I think will increase the value of the Discord, you know?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, I feel like we're caught up. So we both had a pretty good week. We talked about the Ukraine stuff. And now we'll just see what happens over the weekend, because now it's Thursday. You know, markets are trying to bounce a little bit today, you know, as the invasion started last night. We'll see if that holds. We'll see if that's, you know, something real. And then maybe next week we'll have to circle back. This could be something that we're talking about a lot. You know what I mean?
I think this could be cover quite a few topics going forward in the day trading show. I mean, it's as long as it's happening, and there will always be stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to incorporate current events with.
I enjoy that type of stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know, there can be some specific day trading stuff we talk about, like, you know, like we've done quite a few, you know, the sports and day trading, etc., etc. But I think it's always good to talk about how the current events are impacting our daily trading routine.
Yeah, I agree.
Decisions at the desk.
I agree. All right, beautiful, bro. I appreciate your time always. Everybody listening, watching, we appreciate you guys very much. We hope you subscribe, drop a review, drop a comment if you enjoyed today's conversation, and we'll see you in the next episode.